forth the fatal loins of these two foes.
A pair of star-crossed lovers
took their life,
whose misadventures, hideous overthrows,
through the continuing of their father's strife,
and death-marked passage of their parents' rage,
is now the
2 hours traffic
of our stage.
Gregory, of my word, I'll carry no coal.
Nay, for if you do, you should be a collier.
If I be in collar, I'll draw.
Ever while you live, draw your neck out of the collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
You are never quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of the Montagues moves me.
Well, here come two in the Montague.
Oh. Nay, fear not me, I warrant thee.
I fear them no more than thee, but draw.
Nay, let us have the law on our side. Let them begin first. I'll tell thee what I'll do. As I go by, I'll bite my thumb, which is great enough if they suffer it.
Content. Go thou by and bite the thumb. I'll come after and frown.
You bite your thumb enough. I bite my thumb.
Aye, but isn't that us?
I bite my thumb. Is the law on our side?
Oh.
I bite my thumb.
Aye, but isn't that us?
Say I.
Rebellion subjects! Enemies to peace! On pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground! 3 civil brawls bred of an airy word by thee, old Capulet, and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the ransom of your thoughts. For this time, each man depart in peace.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Manhattan Shakespeare Project. Manhattan's all-female Shakespeare. Thank you all so much for coming. Cell phones, please turn them on. I would like to see Twittering, Instagramming, Facebooking. It is hashtag Manhattan Shakes or at Manhattan Shakes, MANHATTANSHAKES. Proceeds for these performances are going towards our education program, Shakespeare in the Special Education Classroom. There is one instance of stage weaponry use. We have not told the NYPD. Enjoy the show. Who set this ancient quarrel first abroach?
You were 2 servants of your adversaries, and yours close fighting ere I did it.
Ah, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worship's sun peeped through the golden window of the east, a troubled thought drew me from company. So early walking might I see your son, I drew towards him, but he was ware of me, and drew into the thicket of the wood. I noting his affections by mine own that most are busy when they're most alone. Why, tell me, uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor could learn of him.
Ah, see where he comes, but save you both aside, I'll know his grievance will be much to know.
I would that were so happy by thy spake to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away.
Tomorrow comes.
Is the day so young?
Get news strip 9.
I me sad hopes seem long.
What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
Oh, in love.
Out of love, out of her favor where I'm in love.
Of honorable reckoning are they both, and pity 'tis they live at odds so long.
Alas, that love so gentle in their view should be so tyrannous and rough and cruel.
But, leaving that, what say you to my suit?
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without laws give pathways to our will.
What should I say more than I've said before? My daughter is a stranger in the world. She hath not yet attained to 14 years.
Where shall we dine?
Let 2 more summers wither in their pride before she can be thought fit for a bride.
God's me, what fray was here? Well, yet tell me not, for I've heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, Oh, brawling love, oh, loving hate, oh, anything of nothing first create. Oh, heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of best-seeming things, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep, that's not what it is. This love feel I, that feel no love in this. What, dost thou not laugh?
No, cries I readily.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
Good heart, at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of my own lie heavy at my heart, which thou wouldst propagate, to have them pressed with more of thine. This grief that thou hadst sown, and doth add more grief to too much of my own. Farewell, cuz.
Nay, I'll go along. You do hinder me, you do me wrong.
But I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He is some other where.
But too soon, Maud, are these so early married.
Tell me in sadness whom she is you love.
But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My word to her consent is but a part.
In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
This night I hold in all the custom feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, yet you among the score, one more, most welcome, makes the number more.
I aim so right when as you say you love.
A right good markman, and she's fair, I love.
Well, I write fair mark fair cause as soon as hit.
Oh, but in that hit you'll miss. She'll not be hit by Cupid's arrow. She hath Diana's wit. She'll not abide the siege of loving terms, nor overlap the saint seducing gold. Oh, she's rich in beauty, only poor, that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
Where are you, Sarah? Go, trudge about through fair Verona streets and seek them out whose names are written here, and to them say, my house and welcome at their pleasure stay.
Seek them out whose names are written here. Oh, but I do not know whose names are written here. I must to learn them. That is as much to say that the tailor must meddle with his laughs, the shoemaker with his needle, the fisher with his pencils, and the painter with his nets. I must to learn it good.
Tut, man! One fire burns out, another's burning. One pain is lessened by another's anguish. Turn backward and behold by backward turning. One desperate grief cures with another's languish. Take thou some new infection of thine eye, and the rank poison of the old will die.
Your plantain leaf is excellent for that. For what? For your broken shin.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
No, not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented, and... Good evening, good fellow.
Good evening, good sir. I pray you, can you read?
I, mine unfortunate, my misery.
You must have learned. Perhaps you learned without a book. I pray you, sir, can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
Speak honestly, rescue Mary.
No, stay, fellow. I can read. Senior Martino, his wife and daughters. Mercutio, his brother Valentine. My uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters. My fair niece Rosaline and Livia. Senior Valenti and his cousin Tybalt. A fair assembly. Whither should they come? No, whither to supper. Oh, whose house? Aye, indeed, I should have asked it up.
I'll tell you again, without asking. My master's the great Prince Capulet. If you be not among you, come and crush a cup of wine.
At this same ancient feast of Capulets, sups the fair Rosalind, not so lost, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattainted eye compare her face with some of those that I shall show, and I shall make you think they swan a crow. Nurse! Where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Now by my maidenhead at 12-year-old I bade her come. What lad? What labor? God forbid, where's this girl? What, Juliet?
How now? Who calls?
Your mother!
Madam, I am here. What is your will? This is the matter. Nurse, give Leah leave a while. We must talk in secret.
Nurse, come back again. I have remembered thee. Thou must hear us our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age up to an hour.
She's not 14.
I'll lay 14 of my teeth, and yet to my teen be it spoken I have but 4. She's not 14. How long is now till Lammas-tide?
Fortnight and odd days.
Even or odd. Of all days in the year, come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age, but Susan is with God. She was too good for me, but as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry, I remember it well. Since the earthquake now 11 years. Nay, I do bear a braid, and since that time it is 11 years. For then could Juliet stand high low? Nay, by the rood, she could have waddled up and down. For even the day before she brake her brow, and my husband, oh, God be with his soul, he was a merry man. Dost thou fall forward, Juliet? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Juliet? And by my holidam, the pretty fool left crying and said, to see how a jest shall come about. I warrant if I should live 100 years, I never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Juliet? And by my troth, she stinted and said, I.
And stint thou too. I prithee, nurse, say I.
Well, go thy ways. God mark thee for his grace, thou wert the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed. Might I but live to see thee married once, I have my wish.
And that same marriage, nurse, is a theme I meant to talk of. Tell me, Juliet, how stands you affected to be married?
It is an honor I dream not of.
An honor! Were I not thy only nurse, I would say thou hadst sucked wisdom from thy teeth.
Well, girl, the noble county Paris seeks thee for his wife.
Oh, man, young lady, such a man as all the world, why, he is a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, his face, the flower, a very flower.
Well, Juliet, how like you of Paris's love?
I'll look to like if looking liking move, but no more deep will I engage mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it flow. Madam, you are called. Believe me, Romeo, I must have you dare.
Oh, not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes and nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot stir.
Oh, tut man, dumb some out. Constable's old word, if thou beest, I will pull thee from the mire that stir reverend flow where thou stickest.
So we mean well by going to this mask, 'tis no whit to go.
Why, Romeo, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
So did I.
Why, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they do dream things true.
Oh, that I see Queen Mab hath been with you.
Queen Mab.
Queen Mab, what's she?
She's a very midwife! And up from the fourth men's noses while they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes are made of the cover of the wings of grasshoppers. Her wagoner is a small gray-coated fly, not half so big as a little worm, picked with the lazy finger of a maid. And in this sword she gallops. Up and down, lovers' brains, and then they dream of love.
They dream of love.
Who straight on curtsies dream, or ladies' lips, who dream on kisses straight, which off the angry man blisters blades, because their breast with sweet meats tainted are. Sometimes she gallops o'er a soldier's nose, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches,
From the gutter.
countermines of half 5 fathoms deep, and then on, drums in his ears which he starts and wakes, swears a prayer to and sleeps again. This is that man that makes maids lie on their backs, proving them women of good carriage. This is the very man that plates the manes of horses in the night, and plates the elf locks in foul, sluttish hair, which once untangled much misfortune brings.
myself. Supper is done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequences hanging in the stars that bitterly begins his fearful date with this night's revels and expires the term a despised life, closed within this breast by some untimely forfeit of vile death. But he that hath the steerage of my course directs my sails on, lusty gentlemen.
Welcome, gentlemen, welcome, gentlemen! Ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns, we'll have it out with you. Aha, my mistresses, which of you all will now refuse to dance? She that makes dainty, she'll swear hath corns. Am I come near you now? Welcome, gentlemen! More lighting eggs and turn these tables up, and quench the fire, the room is grown too hot.
What lady is that doth enrich the hand of yonder knight? Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shines a snow-white swan, trooping with crows, as this fair lady over her fellows shows. Oh, the measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make happy my rude hand. Ah, did my heart love till now, forswear its sight? I never saw true beauty till this night.
This by his voice should be a Montague! Fetch me my rapier, girl!
How now, cousin, wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to mock at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
It is that villain Romeo.
Let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman, and to speak truth, Verona brags of him as of a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for the wealth of all this town here in my house do him disparagement. Therefore be quiet, take no note of him. Bear a fair presence, put off these frowns, an ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits when such a villain is a guest unloving to us.
He shall be endured.
Go to, I say he shall. Am I the master of this house or you? You'll not endure him. Go to, you are a saucy knave.
This trick will scathe you one day, I know what. Well said, my heart!
Be quiet. Patience, perforce with willful choler meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greetings. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now seeming sweet, convert to bitter gall.
If I profane with my unworthy hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips to blushing pilgrims ready stand, to smooth the rough touch with a gentle kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which manly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands, which holy palmers touch, and palm to palm is holy palmers kiss.
Have not saints lips and holy palmers too?
Yes, pilgrim! Lips that they must use in prayer.
Why then, dear saints, let lips do what hands do. They pray. Yield thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant, nor prayer forsake.
Then move not, till my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips by yours my sin is purged.
But have my lips the sin that they have took?
Sin from my lips, so trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again. Madam, your mother calls. What's her mother?
Bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear Count, my life is my foe's thrall.
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. I pray you, let me entreat you. Is it so? Well, then have been about an hour ago. Right to my chamber. Oh!
Nurse, what is yonder gentleman?
The son and heir of old Tiberio.
What's he that's now going out of door?
That, as I think, is young Petruchio.
What's he that follows there, that would not dance?
I know not.
Go learn his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen unknown and known too late. Prodigious birth of love is this to me, that I should love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's that?
Nothing, nurse. But a rhyme I learned even now of one I danced with.
Come, your mother stays for you. I'll go along with you. Shall I go forward? And my heart is here. Go turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo!
Dost thou hear? He is wise. Upon my life, he hath stole him of the bed.
No, he came this way and leapt over the orchard wall. Call him, River.
Huh? Nay, I'll call her too. Romeo! I conjure thee by Rosalind's bright eye, high forehead and scarlet lip, her pretty foot, straight leg and quivering thigh, and the domains that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
If he not hear you, thou wilt anger him.
Son, this cannot anger him. My implication is fair and honest, and in his mistress' name I conjure only but to raise up him.
He hath hid himself into the thicket of the wood to be sorted with the humorous night. Thine is his love, best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love will not hit the mark. Romeo! Good night! All to my trundle bed. This field bed is too cold for me. Come, let's away. For 'tis but vain to seek him here that means not to be found.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. Yeah, but soft. What light forth yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon that is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Oh, she speaks, but she says nothing. What of that? Ah, her eye discourseth. I'll answer it. Oh, I am too bold. That's what she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the skies, having some business to entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they do return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheeks would shame those stars, as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would shine through the airy region so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. Oh, now she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, I would I were the glove to that same hand, that I might kiss that cheek.
I mean...
Oh, she speaks! Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night being over my head as the winged messenger of heaven.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, refuse thy name. Art thou wilt not be but sworn my love, no longer be a Capulet.
Oh, shall I speak to this, or shall I hear more?
It is thy name that is my enemy. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that divine perfection of rose. Without that title, Romeo, part thy name. And for that name which is no part of thee, take all I have.
I take thee at thy word! Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened at night dost stumble upon my 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair saints, if either thee displease.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
By love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and what dares love attempt that dares love attempt? Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
I would not for the world they should find thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight, and but thou love me, let them find me here. For life were better ended by their hate, than death prorogued wanting of thy love.
By whose directions foundst thou out this place?
By love, who first did prompt me to inquire. He gave me counsel, and I lent him eyes.
Thou knowest the mask of a knight is on my face, else would a maiden blush to paint my cheeks, for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke. But farewell, compliments. Dost thou love me? Nay, I know thou wilt say I, and I will take thy word. But if thou swear, thou mayst be false. At lovers' perjuries they say, Jove smiles. Ah, gentle Romeo, if thou love, pronounce it faithfully, or if thou thinkst I'm too easily won, I'll fret, and say thee nay and be perverse, so thou wilt lose, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore thou mayst think my behavior light, but trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than they that have more cunning to be strange.
Now by yonder blessed moon, I swear.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the unconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circle orb, lest that thy love be likewise variable.
Now by...
Nay, swear not at all. If thou swear by thy glorious self, which art the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
In my true heart's love.
Swear not at all. Though I do know indeed, I have small joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too sudden, too unadvised, too like the lightning that doth cease to be, or one can say, it lightens. I feel so comforted. Dear love, I do. Speak not to you, be true. Stay but a little, and I'll come again.
Oh, blessed night! I fear being night, all this is but a dream I hear and see.
3 words, good Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee. Where and what time thou wilt perform that right, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Love goes toward love like schoolboys from their books, but love from love to school with heavy looks.
Romeo! Romeo! Oh, for a falconer's voice to learn this tassel gentle back again, bondage's voice, and cannot cry aloud, else would I tear the cave where echo lies, and make her airy voice as hoarse as mine, with the repetition of my Romeo's name. Romeo!
Ah, it is my soul that calls upon my name!
Romeo? Madam, at 1 o'clock tomorrow shall I say?
The hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. Romeo! I have forgotten I did call thee back.
Let me stay here till you remember it.
I shall forget to have thee still stay here, remembering how I love thee.
And I'll stay still, I'd be still forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I'll have thee gone. Good night. Good night. Pardon me such sweet sorrow, that I should say good night.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace on thy breast. I would I were asleep and peace, so sweet a rest.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light.
Now will I to my ghostly father's cell his help to crave and my good hap to tell.
We must upfill this austere cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. For not so vile that vile on earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. Nor not so good, but strayed from that fair youth revolts to vice, and stumbles on a beauty. Ah, within the infant rind of this small flower, poison hath residence and medicine power. To such opposing foes that kept them still in man, as well as herbs, race, and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon that canker death eats up that plant.
Good morrow to my ghostly father.
Oh, Benedicte, what early tongue so soon saluteth me? Oh, young son and group of children. It argues that this never bed to bid so soon with morrow to thy bed. Or if not so, here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been abed tonight?
Oh, the last was true, the sweeter rest was mine.
Oh, God pardon sin! Wert thou with Rosaline?
Rosaline? No! Ghostly father! I have forgot that name, and that name's woe.
Ah, that's my good son. Where hast thou been, then?
I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. Both our help, both our remedies, within thy help and holy physic lies.
Be plain and homely in the drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know, my heart's true love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers likewise on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage. But this I pray, thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Has Rosaline, whom he did hold so dear, been so soon forsook? Oh, young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesus Maria, what a great deal of pride hath washed his sallow cheeks for Rosaline. And lo, upon thy cheek the stain of sin of an old tear that's not washed off yet. If ever wert thou thus in these woes thine, thou in these woes were all for Rosaline. Art thou changed? Now pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in bed.
Thou chidst me oft for loving Rosaline,
Or doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
and badest me very love.
Not in a grave, one in, another out.
I pray thee, chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
She knew well thy love did read my rote and could not spell.
Why, where's Romeo? Came he not home tonight?
But come, young waverer, oh come, go with me. In one respect, I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove as to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
That same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, has sent a letter to his father's house.
Some challenge on my life.
Now Romeo will answer it.
Aye, any man that can write may answer a letter.
He will answer the letter's master if he be challenged.
Who, Romeo? Why, he is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love from the very pin of his heart, cleft with a blind bow-boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
More than a prince of cats, I can tell you. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments. Catso, he fights as you sing prick song. Keeps time, distance, and proportion. Rests me his bit of rest. 1, 2, and a third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silken button. A duelist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause. Ah, the immortal Passado, the Punta Reversa, the Hay.
Oh, here comes Romeo.
Without his roe like a dried herring. Oh, flesh, Romeo. There's a French curtsy or French slap. He gave us the counterfeit fairly yesternight.
What counterfeit? I agree.
The slip! Can you not conceive?
No, I cry mercy. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
Oh, come between us, good Benvolio, for my wits fail.
No, swits and spurs, or I'll call 'em mad.
Nay, and thy wits run the wild goose chase I'll have done, for I am sure thou hast more of the goose in one of thy wits than I have in all of my 5. Was I with you there for the goose?
Oh, thou wert never with me for anything when thou wert not with me for the goose.
I'll bite thee by the ear for that jest.
No, nay, bite not, good goose.
Oh, why thy wit is a bitter sweeting, a most sharp sauce.
Oh, and was it not well served into a sweet goose?
Ah, here is a wit of Cheverel that stretcheth from an inch narrow to an ell broad.
No, I stretched it for the word broad, which, added to the goose, proves you fair and wide a broad goose.
Now is not this better than groaning for love? Why, now art thou sociable, now art thou thyself. Now art thou without art as well by art as nature. This driveling love is like a great natural that runs up and down to hide its bauble in a hole.
Oh, well, here's goodly dear.
Let me give me my fan.
Prithee, Peter, do to hide her face, for her fan is the fairer of the two.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good e'en, fair gentlewoman.
Is it God ye good even, I pray you?
'Tis no less, I assure you, for the gaudy hand of the dial is even now upon the prick of noon.
Oh, my, what a man is this?
A gentleman nurse whom God hath made for himself to mar.
Ay, my troth, well said for himself to mar, quoth he. I pray you, can any of you tell where one may find young Romeo?
I can, but young Romeo will be elder when you have found him than when you sought him.
Oh.
Hey, they got it tonight.
But it's never funny.
Oh, I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
Well said.
Yea, is the worst well. Mass, well noted, wisely.
If you be he, sir, I desire some conference with you.
Oh, belike she means to invite you to
So, you'll see your father, she said.
I will.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, sweet lady.
Very farewell. Pray, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his rope right?
Oh, a gentleman nurse who loves to hear himself talk and will speak more in an hour than he stands to in a month.
If he stand to anything against me, I'll take him down if he were lustier than he is. If I cannot take him down, I'll find them that shall. I am none of his flirt gills. No. I am none of his skeins, mates. And now, like a knave, must stand there and see every jack use me at his pleasure.
I see no one use you at his pleasure. If I had, I should have drawn, for you know my tool is out as soon as another's if I see time and occasion.
Now a poor god he hath so vexed me that every member about me quivers. Starvey Jack! But, as I said, my lady bade me seek ye out, and what she bade me tell me, that I'll keep to myself.
Nurse, commend me to that lady. Tell her I protest.
By the faith, I'll tell her so. Oh, she will be a joyful woman.
Bid her early tomorrow morning get shrift to come to Friar Lawrence's cell.
Well, tomorrow morning she shall not fail.
Farewell. Be trusting I'll quit thy pains.
Peter, take my fan and go before.
The clock struck 9 when I did send my nurse. In half an hour, she promised to return. Perhaps she cannot find him. That's not so. Oh, she is lazy. Love's herald should be thoughts, and run more swift than hasty powder fired. Just hurry from the fearful cannon's mouth. Oh, now she comes. Oh, sorry. Tell me, gentle nurse, what says my love?
Oh, I am weary. Let me rest while. Excuse me, ma'am. You have the best chance in Oh, how my bones ache.
I would I had my bones and I knew.
Lord, what a job I have had off, and my back at the other side. Oh, Lord, what a case I am in.
But tell me, sweet nurse, what says Romeo?
Romeo? Oh, Lord, how my head aches.
What of all this? Tell me what he says to our Mary.
Mary, he says, like an honest gentleman, like a kind and a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Lord, how oddly thou repliest. He says, like a kind gentleman and an honest and a virtuous, where is your mother?
Sister Poultice, for my aching bone. You may have to check that. Give her a moment to pause, ladies and gentlemen. Next errand you'll have done, do it yourself.
Nay, stay, sweet nurse. I do entreat thee now. What says my lord, my love, my Romeo?
Go. Hie you straight to Friar Lawrence's cell. Frame some excuse that you must go to Shrift. There stays a bridegroom to make you a bride. Doth this news please you?
How doth her latter words really does something to my heart? Thy gentle nurse, dispatch thy business, and I'll not fail to meet my Romeo.
Now, Father, in thy holy breath, witness of our heart's true love, by joining hands and consummate those never-parting bands, and she will come.
I guess she will indeed. Youth's love is swift, swifter than swiftest speed. So light of foot their herds that trod in flower. All love and joy, see, the sovereign power. Oh, no, come down.
Juliet, welcome. As your waking eyes close the night's mist, attend the frolic day. So Romeo hath expected Juliet, and thou art come.
I am if I be gay. Come to my son, shine forth and make me fair.
All quickest there is love to mine eyes.
Romeo, from thine, I'll brightness of your eyes.
I'm pretty good. The day is hot and chapel work.
Come, wantons, come, the stealing hours do pass. Defer embracements till some bitter time. He shall not be alone. Shall Holy Church have joined these both?
Lead, Holy Father, all the way seems long.
Make haste, this lingering doth us wrong.
Didst thou not call out with the man for cracking the nut, having no other reason but thou hadst hazel eyes? With another for coughing, because he waked thy dog that lay asleep in the sun, with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter, and with another for tying his new shoes with old ribbons. And yet thou wilt forbid me of quarrel.
By my head, here comes a Capulet.
By my heel I cannot.
Gentlemen, a word with one of you.
But one word, one of us. Better coupling somewhat, making a word and a blow.
Oh, I am apt enough to that if I have occasion.
Could you not take occasion?
You shall not consort.
Consort! Zounds! Consort! The slaves will make fiddlers of us. For here's my fiddle.
Well, please be with you, for here comes my man.
Romeo, the hate I bear to thee can afford no better words than these. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the love that I bear to thee doth excuse the appertaining rage to such a word. Villain, I am none, therefore I well perceive thou knowest me not.
Base boy, this shall not serve his turn, and therefore draw.
I do protest, I never injured thee. What love is better than thou canst define?
Oh, dishonorable, vile submission! You rat catcher, come back, come back!
With me.
Nothing, king of cats, but borrow one of your 9 lives. Therefore come, draw your rapier as your scabbard, let mine be about your ears and give you away. What's going on? Is he gone? Having nothing of parts of your houses? Well, how art thou hurting man below this must be? No, not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a barn door, but it will serve, I warrant. Lord, man, you had come between us. I was hurt under your arm. Why, I did all for the best. Parts of your house. I am barely dressed. I am tempted for this one. I am sped in pain. He hath me worm's meat of me. And ye ask for me tomorrow, ye shall find me a grave man. What parts of your houses? Now, he'll keep a mumbling in my guts on the other side. Then he'll lend me the head. Papa, your houses.
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath taken this mortal wound on my behalf. My reputation stained by Tybalt's slander. Tybalt at an hour hath been my kinsman. Ah, Juliet, thy beauty makes me thus effeminate, and in my temper softens valor's steel.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, to Phoebus a mansion, that a wagoner's face you would quickly bring you thither, and send in cloudy night immediately.
Romeo! Romeo, brave Mercutio is dead!
This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This what begins, what other days must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive in triumph, and Mercutio slain. Away to heaven, respective leniency, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt! Ah! Take the villain back again, which late thou gavest me. Ah! For Mercutio's soul is but a little way above the clouds, and stays for thine to bear him company. Ah! Or thou, or I, or both shall follow him. Ah! 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 Ah!
Romeo, thou seest that Tybalt is slain the citizens of Rome. That will be taken!
Oh, I am fortune's slave! Let be the vile beginners of this fray!
Noble prince, I can discover all. The most unlucky man who took this wrong. He lies the man slain by Romeo, who slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, Tybalt, oh, my brother's child! Unhappy sight, oh! The blood is spilled of my dear kinsman, prince, as thou art true, for blood of our shed blood of Montague.
Speak, then Romeo, who began this fray?
Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. The furious Tybalt cast the envious thrust, that rid the life of stout Mercutio. That fled, but presently returned, and with his rapier brave and Romeo, that had but newly entertained revenge. And ere I could draw my rapier forth to put their fury down, Tybalt's valley, this way Romeo fled.
He is amongst you and speaks partial. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all those 20 could but kill one life. I do entreat, sweet prince, of justice give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo may not live.
And for that offense, immediately we to exile him hence. I in your hands, my blood for your rude thralls doth lie of reason. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears, nor prayers shall purchase for offenses. Pity shall dwell and govern with this still.
mercy to all but murderers, pardoning none that kill.
How now, nurse? Oh, look. Why, look thou, sir. We are undone, lady, we are undone. What devil art thou that torments me? Alack, the dead! He's dead! He's dead! He's dead! Oh, this torture should be a roared and dismal hell! Can heavens be so envious? Romeo can, if heavens cannot! Oh, Romeo, Romeo! What disaster hath severed thee from thy true Juliet? Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt, the best friend I had! Oh, honest Tybalt, courteous gentleman! What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Tybalt dead and Romeo murdered? Oh, my dear loved cousin and my dearest lord! Then let the trumpet sound the general doom! These two being dead, then living is there none! Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished! Romeo, that murdered Tybalt, is banished! Son, hate with a flowering face! Oh, painted sepulchre and polluting filth was never booked containing so foul matter, so fairly bound! Oh, what meant Romeo? There is no truth, no grace, no honesty in men! Shame come to Romeo! A blister on that tongue! He was not born to shame! Upon his face, shame is a shame to sit! But wherefore, villain, dost thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband! Oh, this is comfort, but there yet remains. Worse than his death, which fain I would forget. But oh, impressed to my memory, Romeo is banished. Oh, that word banished is worse than death. Romeo is banished. His father, mother, Tybalt, Juliet, all killed, all slain, all dead, all banished. Where are my mother and father, nurse? Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corpse. Will you go to them? When theirs are spent, mine shall be shed for Romeo's banishment. Lady, your Romeo will be here tonight. All to him, he is hid at Lord's cell. You, sir, bear this ring to my one true knight, and bid him come and take his last farewell.
Romeo! Romeo! Come forth! Come forth, thou fearful man!
Father, what's the news? The prince's doom.
I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
A gentler judgment hath banished him. Not thoughtless death, but thoughtless banished.
Banish him. But be merciful, say death.
There is no world without Corona walls. Purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence, banished from the world and world exile is death. Calling death banishment, thou cuts my head over the golden axe and smilest on the stroke that murders me.
Oh, monstrous sin! A rude unthankfulness! His fault our law calls death. But the mild prince, taking thy part, hath brushed aside the law and turned that black word death to banishment. This is mere mercy. Thou seest it not.
'Tis torture, not mercy. Heaven is here, where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing lives here in heaven, and may look on her. But Romeo may not. He is banished. Oh, flies may do this, but I from this must fly. Oh, Father, hast thou no strong poison mix, no sharp ground knife, no present mean of death, be ne'er so mean, but banishment to torture me withal. Oh, banish it. Father, the damned use that word in hell. Howling attends it. How hast thou the heart, being divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed to mangle me with that word banishment.
Here he but speak one word.
Thou wilt toxic and banish.
I'll give thee armor to bear off this word, to comfort thee, though thou be banished.
Yet, banish it, talk no more, it helps not.
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Oh, thou canst not speak of what thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt slain, doting like me and like me banished, then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Romeo,
Arise. Thou wilt be Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. I hear one calling at the gate.
God's will! What willfulness is this? Lion, my eye, come, who's there?
One from the Lady Juliet. Oh, dear. Oh, holy friar, oh, tell me, oh, holy friar. Where's my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
Here on the ground, with his own tears made drunk.
Oh, he is even in my mistress' case, weeping and blubbering and weeping. Stand up! Stand up! Stand and you be a man! Oh, for Juliet's sake! For her sake! Rise and stand!
Speakest thou, Juliet? How is it she... does she not think me an old murderer now I have stained the childhood of her joy with blood removed but little from her own? Where is she? And how doth she... And what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she saith nothing but weeps and fules, now falls on her bed, now on the ground, then on Tybalt cries, then on Romeo calls.
As if that name shot from the deadly level of a gun murdered her, as that name's cursed hand murdered her kinsman. Ah, Father, tell me, where in this vile anatomy doth my name lie? Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion!
Hold! Stay thy hand! Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art, but thy wild acts denote the unreasonable furies of a beast! I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slew Tybalt?
Oh,
And wilt thou slay thyself, and slay thy lady too that lives in thee? Rouse up thy spirits! Thy lady Juliet lives, for whose sweet neck thou wert but lately dead. Where art thou happy? Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest. Oh, there art thou happy too. A pack of blessings lights upon your back. Happiness courts thee in his best array. But like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou frownest upon thy fate that smiles on thee. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love as was decreed, ascend her chamber window, hence comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be sent, for then thou canst not pass the mantua. Nurse, provide all things in a readiness. Comfort your mistress, haste the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them absent.
good Lord, what a thing learning is! I could have stayed here all this night to hear good counsel. Well, sir, I'll tell my lady you will come.
I do so, and bid my love prepare to chide. Farewell, nurse.
Here, sir, is a ring she bade me give.
How well my comfort is revived by this.
Sojourn in Mantua, I'll find out your man, and you shall signify from time to time every good hap that doth befall thee. Farewell.
But that joy past joy cries out on me, and where a grief so brief to part with thee.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look ye, sir, she loved her kinsman dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, farewell. Commend me to your daughter.
Sir Paris, I'll make a desperate tender of my child. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. But soft, What day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Oh, then Wednesday was too soon. On Thursday, let it be, you shall be married. We'll make no great ado, a friend or two or so for the peace, sir. Tim of being slain so lately, it would be thought we held him carelessly if we should revel much. But, what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I wish that Thursday were tomorrow.
Wife, go you to your daughter ere you go to bed. Acquaint her with the county Paris's love. Farewell, my lord, till Thursday next. Wife, go you to your daughter. Light to my chamber. The nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
Oh, it was the lark, the messenger of morn, not the nightingale. See, love, what envious streaks do lace the clouds in yonder east. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight, I know it I. Then stay a while, thou shalt not be gone so soon.
Let me stay here. Let me be taken and die. If thou wilt have it, I am content. I'll say, it's not the lark, the messenger of morn. I'll say it's the nightingale that beats. I'll say, yon gray is not morning's eye. Come death and welcome, if Juliet wills it so. Let's talk, my love, and say it's thou 'tis not yet day.
It is, be gone. My hence away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing shouts. So now be gone. For light and light were
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes. Farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
His best bet.
Art thou gone so? My lord, my love, my friend. I must hear from thee every day in the hour.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
Oh, thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
No doubt. No doubt, and all this woe shall serve as sweet discourse in the time to come.
Oh God, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee now, thou art below, like one dead in the bottom of a tube. Either my eyesight fails or thou looks pale.
Trust me, love, in my eyes so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu. Adieu.
Madam, beware, take heed. The day is broke, your mother's coming to your chamber. Make all sure. Where are you, daughter? Oh, now, who calls? Is your mother?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not proud.
What? Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? I think they'll wash him from his grave with tears.
I cannot choose having so great a loss.
I cannot blame you. Yet it grieves thee more that villain Romeo lives. Tempty girl, if I could find a man, I soon would send to man to where he is. That would bestow on him so sure a draught as she should soon bear Tyball's company.
Find me the means and I'll find you such a man. For whilst he lives, my heart will ne'er be light till I behold him. Dead is my poor heart, thus for a kinsman vexed.
Now let that pass. I come to bring thee joyful news.
Joy comes well in this needful time.
Well then, thou hast a careful father, girl, and one who, pitying thine youthful state, hath found thee out a happy day of joy.
What day is that, I pray you?
Married child, the gallant, young, and youthful gentleman, the county Paris, at St. Peter's Church early next Thursday morning must provide to make you there a glad and joyful bride.
Thou by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he will not there make me a joyful bride. Mary, this is news indeed. Madam, I will not marry yet. And if I do, it should rather be Romeo, whom I hate, than the county Paris that I cannot love.
Here comes your father, you may tell him so.
Why, how now, evermore showering in one little body body thou resemblest a sea, a bark, a storm, still floating in thy ever-falling tears. But, hear you, wife, what? Have you sounded her? What says she to it?
I have, but she will not. She thanks you, will God, that she will marry to her grave.
What?
Will she not?
Doth she not thank us? Doth she not
wax proud?
Not proud ye have, but thankful that ye have. Proud can reveal that I hate, but thankful for that hate that is meant to love.
Proud.
And I thank you, and I thank you not.
And yet not proud.
What's here? Chop logic.
Proud me no proud.
Nor thank me no thanks.
But fettle your fine joints on Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag you on a hurdle thither.
Good father, hear me speak.
I tell thee what.
Either resolve on Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church,
Or never look me in the face.
speak not.
Reply not, for my fingers itch.
Why, wife, we thought that we were scarcely blessed.
That God had given us but this only child.
But
now I see this one is one too much.
Mary, God in heaven, bless her, my lord. You are to blame to rate her so.
And why, my lady wisdom,
Hold
hold
your
your tongue.
My lord, ye are too hot.
God's blessed mother, wife, and mads me. Day,
Night, early,
late, at home,
abroad, alone,
in company, waking or sleeping.
Still my care has been to see her back.
and having now found out a gentleman,
A princely parentage.
youthful and nobly raised,
Stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts.
Proportioned as one's heart could wish a man.
And then to have a wretched, whining fool to say,
I cannot love.
I am too young.
I pray you pardon me.
But if you cannot wed,
I'll
all
pardon you.
graze where you will. You shall not house with me.
Look to it.
Think on, I do not use to jest.
I tell ye what.
Thursday is near.
Lay hand on heart. Advise.
Bethink yourself.
If you be mine,
I'll give you to my friend.
if not, hang,
Drown, starve, beg, die in the streets.
Is there no pity hanging in the clouds that looks into the bottom of my woes? I do beseech you, madam, cast me not away. Defer this marriage for a day or two, or make my marriage bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Nay, I assure you I will not say a word. Do what thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh, nurse, what comfort, what counsel can thou give?
Believe me, madam, I know not what to say. Your Romeo, he has banished all the world to none. I think good you married with this beauty. I think you happy in the second match.
Speakest thou this from thy heart?
I am from my soul to us, beshrew them both.
Thou hast comforted me wondrous much. I pray you, go your ways on to my mother. Tell her I have gone displeasing my father to Friar Lawrence's cell to confess you and to be absolved. I will, and this is wisely done. I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all fail else, I have the power to die.
On Thursday, say ye, the time is very short.
my father Capulet would have it so, and I am nothing slack to slow his hit.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not.
But moderately she weeps until its death, and therefore I have a little talk to love. Now, sir, her father thinks it dangerous that she not give her sorrow so much to sway, and it is wisdom haste our marriage to stop the indignation of her tears. Have ye no reason for this haste?
I would I knew not why it should be
bloody knife shall play thee unharmed. Arbitrating that is the commission of thy years, and art but too no issue of true honor brings. Be not, be pleased, for I desire to die. If what thou speakst be not the premise.
Stay, Juliet. I do spy a kind of hope. If rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength or will to slay thyself, 'tis not unlike that thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away the shame that coaxes death itself to fly from blame. And if thou dost, I'll give thee remedy.
Give me a leap rather than marry Paris, from off the battlement to yonder tower, or lay me in that tomb with one new dead, and I will do it without fear or doubt, to keep myself a faithful, unstained wife to my dear lord, my dearest Romeo.
Oh, Juliet, hie thee home, get thee to bed. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. And when thou art alone, take thou this vial, and this distilled liquor drink thou off, when presently through all thy veins shall run a dull and heavy slumber, which shall seize each vital spirit, for no pulse shall keep its natural progress, but surcease to beat. No sign of breath shall testify thou livest. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt remain full 42 hours. And when thou art laid in thy kindred's vault, I'll send in haste to Mantua for your Romeo, and he shall come and take you from the tomb.
Friar, I go. Be sure to send for my dear Romeo.
Where's this headstrong?
She's gone, my lord, to Friar Lawrence's cell to be confessed.
Oh, he may have to do some good of her. A headstrong, self-willed harlotry it is.
See, here she cometh from confession.
How now, headstrong? Where have you been gagging?
Where I have learned to repent the sin of froward, willful opposition against you and your behest, and am enjoined with holy lords to fall prostrate here, and pray permission for so foul a fact.
Why, that's well said.
Now before God, this holy reverend friar, our whole city is much bound unto. Go, tell the county presently of this, for I will have this knot knit up tomorrow.
Nurse, will you go with me to my closet to sort such things as shall be requisite against tomorrow?
Come, sweetheart, shall we go?
I pray you let us.
Methinks on Thursday would be time enough.
I say we'll have this dispatched tomorrow.
I pray, my lord, let it be Thursday.
I say tomorrow we'll be in the mood.
We shall be short of our provisions.
Let me alone for that. Go, get you in. Now before God, my heart is passing light to see her thus conform it to our will.
Come, come. What needs you? Anything else?
Nothing, nurse, but leave me to myself, for I do mean to lie alone.
Well, there's a clean spot under your pillow, and so, good night. Be stirring, Juliet. The county will be early here tomorrow.
Farewell! God knows that we shall meet again. Ah, you take a fearful thing in hand. What if this potion should not work at all? Must I have forced me married to the county? This shall prevent it. What if the friar should give me the strength to poison me for fear I should disclose our former marriage? Oh, I wrong him much. He is a holy and religious man. I will not entertain so bad a thought. What should be stifled in the tomb? Awake an hour before the appointed time. Oh, then I fear I shall be a lunatic and play with my dead forefathers' bones, dash out my phantom brains. Methinks I see my cousin Tybalt weltering in his blood, sinking for Romeo. Stay, Tybalt, stay! Romeo, I come. This do I drink to thee.
Make haste! Make haste! The day is almost broke. Look to your baked meats, good Angelica.
Go get you some bed, you parched queen. In faith, you will be sick anon.
I warrant
thee, nurse. I've ere now stayed up all night and taken no harm at all. How now, Sirrah? How about you, sir?
Forsooth, log.
Great! Good God! It's the longest it's ever taken. Go, tooth dryer! Well, go on thy way, thou shalt be loggerhead. Come, call up my daughter. The county will be here with music straight.
What love! What lady bird! Fast, I warrant. Well, let the county take ye in your bed, and you sleep for a week now, but the next night the county hath set up his rest, that ye shall rest but little. What, Juliet? What's here? Lay on your clothes, dressed in your bed and down? Woo! Alack the day! Some aquavitae! Oh,
No, what's the matter?
alack the day! She's dead! She's dead! She's dead!
Oh, accursed, miserable, unhappy time.
How now, where's my daughter?
She's dead! She's dead!
Where's the time? Miserable old man.
What, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. There she lies, it was my hope, my joy, and being dead sorrow knits us all. Cruel, unjust, impartial destinies! Why to this day have you preserved my life to see my hope, my joy, my stay, my life? The rival sense of life, of all my death. Oh, cruel, unjust, impartial destinies!
Oh, sad-faced sorrow, map of misery. Why these sad times am I desired to see? This day, this unpartial day, this unjust day wherein I hope to see my comfort full, to be deprived by sudden destiny.
Oh, alack, distress! Why should I live to see this day, this miserable day? Alack, the time that ever I was born to be partaker of this destiny.
A peace, a shame if not for charity. Your daughter lives in peace and happiness, and it is vain to wish it otherwise. Come, stick your rosemary in this dead corpse, and as the custom of our country is, in all her best and sumptuous ornaments, convey her where her ancestors lie too. Let it be so. Woeful sorrow mates, let us together taste this bitter fate.
I may trust the flattering eye of sleep. My dream presaged some good event to come. This night I thought I was already dead, and my lady Juliet came to me and breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor! Ah, news from Verona! How now, Balthasar? How's my lady? Is my father well? How does Juliet? That I ask again if she be well, but nothing can be ill. What? Friar Lawrence, brother who?
Then nothing can be ill, for she is well. Her body lies in Capel's monument. Her immortal parts to the angels well. Pardon me, sir, that I am the messenger of such bad tidings.
This seems to be the voice of Friar John.
Is it even so? Then I defy my stars! I will not stay in Mantua tonight!
What news from Mantua? What will Romeo come?
Well, Juliet, tonight I lie with thee.
Here in this city, visiting the sick where the infectious pestilence remained, and being by searchers of the town found and examined, we were both shut up.
Who bear my letter sent to Romeo?
I understood who they are.
Here dwells an apothecary whom oft I noted.
Go, get me hence, and get me presently a spade and matches.
What ho?
Now, really, what ho?
What ho?
Apothecary, come forth, I say!
Who calls? What would you, sir?
Here's 20 ducats. Give me a dram of some such speeding gear as will quickly dispatch the weary taker's life.
Now must I to this monument alone, lest the lady should, before I come, be waked from sleep. I will hide to free her from this tomb of misery.
Such drugs I have, of force I must confess, but yet the law is death to those that sell them.
What, art thou so poor, and so full of poverty? Dost thou fear to violate the law? Upon thy back hangs ragged misery. Starved famine dwelleth in thy cheeks.
My poverty and not my will consents.
Why pay thy poverty, but not thy will?
Hold! Take you this, and put it in any liquid thing you will, and it will serve had you the strength of 20 men.
Hold, take this gold, worse poison to men's soul than this which thou hast given me. Go, hide thee hence. Come, cordial, and not poison, to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Sweet flower, with flowers I strew thy bridal bed.
Sweet tomb, that in thy circuit doth contain fair Juliet, that with angels doth remain. Something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight, to stay my obsequies and true love's rights?
And take these letters. Early in the morn see thou deliver them to my lord and father. Get thee gone, trouble me no more. By heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage, wild.
I'll all be gone and trouble you not.
Commend me to my father. Farewell, good fellow.
After all this, I will not part from you.
Thou detestable law, thou womb of death, cord with the dearest morsel of the earth.
This is that banished haughty Montague that murdered my love's cousin. I will apprehend him. Stop, vile Montague! I do attach thee as a felon here. The law condemns thee, therefore thou must die.
I must indeed, therefore came I hither. Begone, good youth, tempt not a desperate man. Heap not another sin in my head by shedding of thy blood. I do protest, I love thee better than I love myself, for I come hither armed against myself.
To defy thy conjuration, and attach thee as a felon here.
What dost thou tempt me that have at thee, boy?
I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet.
I faith I will. But let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. What said my man when my betossed soul regarded him not as we passed along? Did he not say Paris should have married Juliet? But I will satisfy thy last request, for thou hast prized thy love above thy life. Death, lay thou there by a dead man interred. Dear Juliet, it seems thy beauty doth become this grave. For I believe unsubstantial death is amorous, and doth court my love. Oh, will I here, oh, ever here, set up my everlasting rest with worms that are thy chambermaids. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are swift. Thus, with a kiss, I die.
Oh, how often I have these, my aged feet, stumbled at graves as I did pass along. What light is yon? If I be not deceived, methinks it burns in Capel's monument.
Doth so, holy sir, and there is one that loves you dearly.
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long has he been there?
A full half an hour and more.
Go with me thither.
I dare not, sir. He knows not that I am here unpaid. Of debt he charged me to be gone.
Then must I go. My mind presageth ill. What blood is this that stains the entrance of this marble stony monument? What mean these masterless and gory weapons? Ah, me I doubt. What's here? Paris slain! And Romeo dead! The lady stirs.
Comfortable friar! I do remember well where I should be and what we talked of, but yet I cannot see him for whose sake I undertook this hazard.
Lady, come forth! I hear some noise. We shall be taken. Paris he is slain, and Romeo dead.
Oh, leave me, leave me! I shall not from hence!
I hear some noise. I dare not stay. Come, come!
What's this? A cup closed in my lover's hand! Oh, churl, drunk all and left no drop for me! My noise. I must be resolute. Oh, happy dagger, thou shalt end my fear. Rest in my bosom. Thus I come to thee.
Over here. Come, look about. What early mischief calls us up so soon?
Oh, noble prince, see here where Juliet, that hath lain entombed 2 days, warm and fresh bleeding. Romeo and County Paris likewise newly slain.
Search, seek about to find the murderers.
What rumors this that is so early up?
Some in the streets cry Romeo, and some on Juliet, as if they alone had been the cause of such a mutiny.
See, wife, his dagger hath mistook. The back is empty of young Montague, and is sheathed in our daughter's breast.
Come, old Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son and heir more early down.
Dread sovereign, my wife is dead tonight, and young Benvolio is deceased too. What further mischief can there yet be found?
First come and see, then speak.
O thou untaught, what manners is in this to press before thy father to a grave?
Come,
Stop up your mouths of outrage for a while, and we shall seek to find these authors out. Bring forth the parties in suspicion.
Most worthy prince, hear me but speak the truth, and I'll inform you how these things fell out. Juliet here slain was married to that Romeo without her father's or her mother's grant. The baleful day of this unhappy marriage was Tybalt's doomsday, for which Romeo was banished from hence to Mantua. He God her father sought by foul constraint to marry her to Paris, but her soul, loathing a second contract, did refuse to give consent. Then did I give her a potion that should make her seem as dead, and told her that I would with all post speed send hence to Mantua for her Romeo, that he might come and take her from the tomb. But even had my letters, Friar John was stayed by the searchers of the town. But Romeo, understanding by his man that Juliet was deceased, returned in post unto Verona for to see his love. What after happened, touching Paris' death or Romeo's, is by me unknown at all. But when I came to take the lady hence, and found them dead, and she awake from sleep, whom fain I would have taken from the tomb, which she refused at seeing Romeo dead. Anon I heard the watch, and then I fled. What after happened I am ignorant of.
Where is Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my master word that she was dead, and he posted straight from Mantua unto this tomb. These letters he delivered me, charging me early give them to his father.
Let me see the letters. I will read them through. These letters do make good the friar's words. Come, Capulet and old Montague, where are these enemies? See what hate hath done.
Come, brother Montague, give me thy hand. There is my daughter's dowry, but no more can I bestow on her. That is all I have.
I will give them more. I will erect her statue of pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall no statue of such price be set as that of Romeo's loved Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo by his lady lie. Pour sacrifices to our enmity.
A gloomy peace this day doth with it bring. Come, let us hence to talk more of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For ne'er was heard a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.